Okay, for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to write the electron configuration. Using your diagonal rule chart. So this is your diagonal rule chart. Here. So first thing we have to do is we have to figure out which element we're going to use. So with this example, I'm going to start with arsenic. So AS. So when we look at a periodic table, arsenic's atomic number is 33. So then we know that it has 33 electrons. So when we go to write our electron configuration, the first thing that we start with our chart is we start in this upper left-hand corner. We start on this first line, and we write down the first thing that we hit. So the first thing that we run into is the 1s. So this is the 1s. Now, each one of the s orbitals holds only 2 electrons, so it'll be 1s2 because we have more than 2 electrons to put in there. Then we put a comma, and we move on to the next one. So once you're done with one row here, or one line, you're going to simply start at the top of the next one. So with this one, our next one will be 2s2. So far we've used 4 electrons. When we go to our next one, so we're done with this line, we'll go back up to the top. The next one we hit is the 2p. And since we've only used 4 electrons so far, it needs to be 2p6. So far we've used 10, and that's actually what this little 10 down here denotes that I've written in on my sheet. Then we go to a next one, which is going to be 3s2. And at this point we've used 12 electrons. So we jump to the next one and move down. So 3p6. So far we've only used 18 electrons. And that's if we were to add up all of these little numbers up top. That's what that tells us. Then we move to the 4s2. Then we jump to the next line. And this is where it starts to get a little confusing. Instead of going to the 4p, we actually go to the 3d. And that's going to be 10. So far we've used 30 electrons. So now we're at the point that when we go to our next one, so you would continue writing it. I've just run out of room. Actually, I can just write it on the table. So the next one would be the 4p. And since we've used 30 up to this point, we only have 3 left to put in there. So it would be the 4p3. If we look at our colored periodic tables, if you have one of these yet, when we look at arsenic here, we notice it is in the 4th row. We go over and we look up. It is in the 3p column. Like every single one of these in this column here should end in 3p. It just depends on which row. So like nitrogen would end in 2p3. Phosphorus ends in 3p3. Arsenic ends in 4p3. So we've done ours correctly.